Welcome back to Insomnia Art. This time we're doing another Devious Pokemon team. This is going to be Team Sonar? Team Bat? Thinking Team Bat. Sounds good. This is the team of everyone's favorite crime fighter, Bruce Wayne, Batman, and Pokemon's own Gen 1 Crobat. This is actually the evolved form of Gobat, or Gubat. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Wanted to do a pick with Batman, but it was like having a hard time figuring out which Pokemon would best fit him. And truth be told, there are probably other Pokemon that probably better fit his way he operates. But it's a Bat Pokemon. I couldn't help myself. I had to do it, and I had to make it work. So I went to do a picture of Batman with the evolved form of the Gobat that is extremely annoying from what I understand in the game. But when it's evolved and fully ready to go, it's quite formidable, being a flight and poison type. Batman's not much for poisoning. Well, I guess you can be poisoned and not necessarily die from it. So it could be a way for him to weaken his stronger villains like Clayface or Solomon Grundy. Kind of put a little status element on them to make his fight a little bit easier. And I really want to draw this Pokemon because it's kind of menacing. It kind of reminds me of the ghost types. So I wanted to really try to give that a go and work out how am I going to make this actually look. So I wanted to go with the evolved form rather than the standard form because the standard form didn't have eyes, and I thought that was kind of weird. And I like to personalize my pictures with creatures that have eyes, but it depends on the actual piece. Like if I was drawing a xenomorph or an alien, that thing just doesn't have eyes, but it's not supposed to. You're not supposed to relate to it. You're supposed to just crap your pants when you see it. But in regards to Pokemon, they're nice and cute and for the most part non-menacing. But this one had a little bite to it, no pun intended. So I really wanted to explore that. Now I'm laying out my pencils for the Batman and kind of figuring out how I wanted him to deliver the Pokeball. Because one thing I want to do in these picks is have a canon or a makes sense way of how the heroes our villains would kind of throw out their Pokeball. And with Batman, of course, he would throw it like a batarang. I just think he would kind of just lob it at the field, whereas Professor X would probably he doesn't. Does he have telekinesis? I don't think he does. He's just a telepath. So he would probably roll it like a bowling ball, or Poison Ivy would probably throw hers with one of her with one of her vines. But I wanted to make that an interesting thing where each hero kind of delivers their Pokeball differently. And right now I'm working on the cape. The costume I'm doing for Batman is the newest Batman, the Rebirth costume that's going now. And I like this costume because it adds a color diversity to Batman that he hasn't had in a very, very, very long time. With Batman, it's always been neutral blacks, grays, and sometimes blues. But with this new costume, he has some yellows, some purples. It's just a very different look for the Cape Crusader, and I really love this new design. So I want to incorporate that, and plus I am a sucker for the latest costume design. Unless it's completely atrocious, then I probably wouldn't use it, but I happen to love this design, so I was like, I'm going to roll with that for this picture. And for the Batman, which I very rarely draw because he's one of those characters that are in my pantheon of I never draw right, at least to my opinion. It's always the characters I respect the most. It's Batman, Superman. For some reason, I just can't draw Cyclops from the X-Men. He's my favorite X-Man. Whatever, he's my favorite. I can already hear the hate. I love Cyclops before they ruined him, but they ruined all the X-Men. But that's neither here nor there. I think my next Pokemon challenge is I'm going to challenge myself to draw Cyclops and match him up with a one-eyed Pokemon or something, just so I can say I've drawn him to a competent degree. But with this picture, I just wanted to really do Batman and kind of show off my way of drawing him, which is a bit more streamlined. I like the older 70s version of Batman where he's not so bulky. He's kind of more svelte. That's how I would draw my Batman. I think Batman you know, if you're thinking logically, he has to be extremely fast, and I don't think a big bulky Batman is sneaking up on anybody. I'm not a big fan of the uh, Dark Knight Returns or the Frank Miller Batman, where he's just this big tank of a person. It just doesn't make sense for someone who operates more or less like a ninja. So it makes, to me, it makes a bit more sense that he would be actually a bit more svelte. Now I'm laying in these lines for this Pokemon, and I'm already on to coloring. That was quick. The Pokemon are very strong, solid lines. There's no real room for cross hatching or anything fun like that. But that their beauty is in their simplicity. So you kind of want to make sure you knock that out. Here I'm laying in my lighting. Just kind of want to light Batman as much. I like my Batman dark. I don't want him to be too shiny. Kind of like he is the knight, and thus you shall represent him as such. Now I'm just laying in the colors for my Crobat here. I love his red, menacing eyes. He's so angry, guys. He shares the same pain as Batman does, and this is why they're teammates. I can imagine this Crobat having a very dramatic origin story. And now I'm working on the background. I'm wrapping up this image, and I'm actually moved on to the Pokeball, which I'm always gonna have those exploding out and releasing. Who's that Pokemon? And that's what's happening right here. It's Crobat, guys. And I'm actually wrapping up this image, laying in some background shadow, and I'm done. I hope you liked it, and there's more to come. See you guys later.